It's been a while, everybody, but I'm back to do another video on my new channel, The Outside Corner. I've got actually a couple subscribers now, so, making progress to making this channel big, but it doesn't help when I'm not making consistent videos like I do on my other channel. But let's get right into it. The other day, I had actually a request to talk about Prince Fielder, and I actually wrote an article on this. Why Prince Fielder, the best is yet to come. Now, we signed Prince Fielder this year. We signed him to give Miguel Cabrera protection because, we were losing V-Mart for the whole year, and we did not, you don't want to have Miguel Cabrera be there with no protection, so teams would just walk him to get to other players. So, this year Prince Fielder come in, brand new ballpark, brand new league, and what does he do? He hits over 300 for the first time in his career. He hits 30 long balls for the sixth consecutive year of his career, and he had I think 108 RBIs. And I think his OBP was at just over 400 or slightly below 400 for the year. And so he got on base at an extremely high clip. He walked a lot. He didn't strike out much. He hit over 300. He was very, very productive. Now, I'm sure you're sitting here thinking, how can you improve on that when it's such a good first year in a new league and on your new team? Let's take a look at Miguel Cabrera for a minute. Miguel Cabrera, what was his 10th year in the league, 9th year in the league? It was his 10th or 9th year. It was his 9th. You look at every single year in the league, he's put up outstanding numbers. Look at last year. He had Victor Martinez behind him, and Martinez did an outstanding job, protecting Cabrera. I think after a Cabrera walk, Victor Martinez was hitting over 400. He didn't strike out much, only 51 times. His OBP was 380, so he got on base with the ball and played all the protection you could want. In 2010, Cabrera, he didn't have much protection after Miguel Ordonez went down. 2009, he had Miguel Ordonez backing him up. And then in 08, that team was just garbage, and somehow he managed to club out 38 homers. I think 38 or 37 homers. But this year, why did his production jump from a career high of 38 home runs or 37 home runs, all the way up to 44 and a career high 139 RBIs? Why is that, you ask? Because of Prince Fielder. This year, teams had to throw to Miguel Cabrera. They had to, because Victor Martinez, great hitter. He does not have power like Prince Fielder does at all. Victor Martinez only hit 12 home runs. Like I said, he provided good protection, but teams would rather pitch to a hitter that's going to keep the ball in the ballpark than pitch to someone like Prince, where he's got power to all fields, and he can burn you with one swing of the at-bat. Victor Martinez, he could drive in runs because he drove in over 100, but Fielder can knock it out the park and change the whole game with one swing. So, teams, Harold Reynolds on MLB Network made a great point. 2-2 counts, 2-0 counts, they're giving Cabrera fastballs and challenging him because they did not want to walk Cabrera and then pitch the Fielder, and then what would be a solo shot with Cabrera turns into a two-run shot with Prince Fielder. So this is now, I'm sure you're sitting here thinking, well, you're talking about Miguel Cabrera's production, now what about Prince Fielder? Now, here's what this has to do with Prince Fielder. The Tigers' number 5 hole hitters this year ranked 22nd in the MLB for production out of that slot, which is terrible because it's been a merry-go-round there. You've had Delman Young there. I think Johnny Peralta's hit there a couple times. I think Andy Dirks has even hit in the 5-hole once or twice. So, it's been a Brennan Bosch hit there too. So it's been it was really, really hard for Jim Leyland this year to find someone that was going to back up Fielder. Now, if I asked you right now who was the most intentionally walked hitter in baseball, I guarantee you would go Miguel Cabrera. But it was actually Prince Fielder. Why? Because Delman Young struck out over 100 times this year. His OBP was sub 300. I think he only walked, close to 20 times this year. So he was extremely double play prone. He would strike out a lot with runners in scoring position. And he didn't get on base much. So, they're not going to go, man, I'm not going to pitch to a guy that's hitting over 300, and he hit 280 against lefties this year, hit over 300 against righties this year. 46 of his 108 RBIs came off left-handers, so it don't matter if it was a righty or lefty on the mound. I'm going to pitch to Delman Young that'll swing at a slider in the left-handed batter's box and hits off the dirt. So, Prince Fielder was hung out there to dry, really, and he still put up good numbers, even though protection behind him. See, next year, Delman Young will be gone. And we get back Victor Martinez, which brings up my first point. Victor Martinez did a great job protecting Miguel Cabrera behind him in 2011. Like I said, I think he hit over 400 following a Cabrera walk. I think he was 1 or 2 in the American League with runners in scoring position. So next year, all of a sudden, you have a 5-hole hitter. And a 5-hole hitter that's capable of hitting over 300. You know, he's hit over 300 for his career. And that's capable of taking walks, doesn't strike out much, and gets on base. And all of a sudden, teams go, man, if I walk Fielder, you know, after being careful of Cabrera and say he gets on with a single, all of a sudden I got 2 guys on with no outs, and Victor Martinez drove in over 100, and he's great runners in scoring position, you know, all of a sudden. So, you know, now they have to pitch the Fielder. He's going to see more fastballs, his power numbers is going to come up, and also, he's got a full year of experience in the American League. He's learned most of these pitchers now, because he's seen them a couple times over. You know, he's learned the ballparks, and he's, you know, this year, Fielder has got robbed of some homers because of Comerica Park. Fielder's power as his hitter, the opposite way, comes in the gaps. If you notice, as the second game as a Detroit Tiger this year, I think his first home run ever as a Tiger was the opposite way in the opposing team's bullpen, the roadside bullpen. Now, that is a very, very far home run to hit the opposite way. And, you know, last year in Milwaukee, most of these shots that Fielder hit into the gaps the opposite way were home runs in Milwaukee. And so this year he had become more of a pull hitter for home run wise, you know, even though he had a few monstrous shots that anywhere he hit would have been out. I remember one in particular, he hit the dead center field, it would have hit on the concourse if it wasn't for a fan standing there. And so, you know, that robbed him of his power a little bit, and everyone knew that Comerica Park was going to rob Fielder some of his powers. And I know there was a couple times this year Fielder hit a couple to dead center right at the 420 wall. That was home runs in Milwaukee last year by about 20 feet. That were just simple flyouts, and he's sitting there grabbing his head like, oh my God, what do I have to do to get a home run in this ballpark? You know, but still, he still clubbed out 30 homers, and, you know, he still hit I think the majority of his home runs came at Comerica Park. But like I said, next year he'll have Victor Martinez behind him, so he'll be able to see better pitches, which will increase his power numbers, and he will have more experience against other pitchers, because like I said, he'll have more. He's already had a year in the American League, and so he's going to know the pitchers, and he's learned Comerica Park a bit more as its adjustment period, and I think next year his power numbers come up more, and it's, like I said, the best is yet to come from Prince Fielder, because as he gets V-Mart back, American League pitchers he's already saw this year. He learned the new league, adjustment Comerica Park. Next year that all changes, year number 2, and expect his numbers to go up even higher than what they were with V-Mart behind him and an actual legit 5-hitter behind him. And expect the Tigers' offense to be a lot better next year too, not as inconsistent, because you will have 3 solid hitters right in the middle of the order that are good runners in scoring position and clutch hitters. On top of guys like Jackson, who gets on base a lot too, and Dirks, who gets on base a lot too. So, like I said, just the great year by Fielder, but this is the best is yet to come from what we will see from Prince Fielder by the time that 9-year deal is up and his name is and he's no longer a Tiger and he's retired. So, appreciate everyone that subscribed to my new channel. Thank you for watching, and more videos to come throughout the playoffs for the postseason from my channel. Thank you for watching, guys.